Doesn't rhyme as well.
I know it's
I'm soon.
I'm soon. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I'm
I'm
distracted.
Archie, and he's Mila Rose.
Mila Rose. Francesca.
So yeah, this is our second ever podcast. We're gonna continue trying some new ideas here. We decided that we'd be doing a slightly early podcast on this wonderful day that all of us Americans have off.
Except, and then
Is it
son's
Labor Day?
Irish.
No,
it's Columbus
it's
Day.
Columbus Day.
Okay,
But-
right.
The powers that be of America decided that Christopher Columbus was an important man.
Oh,
And despite his aptitude for massacring native populations and selling little girls into slavery.
Shush,
But that's
shush,
not important.
Shush, that's not what the history books say. We can't say that on... Yeah.
they
You
don't
can't say that on television.
No, the history books in the U.S. claim that Christopher Columbus was some kind of god.
Oh, my. Where are you, Nazi America?
Basically, they claim if you look at elementary school history books, apparently he discovered America. Yeah, okay, let's not go into that. That's gonna turn into a rant.
I
That's
know
gonna
we're
turn into a
And
rant.
then it turned out Hugh Havok was Columbus all along.
Totally.
No, it's not Juwabak, it's Juju Man.
All right. So
okay.
anyway, we are actually recording. So to the people here, we apologize for this slight rant about Christopher Columbus and Juju Man.
We're silly people.
So anyway,
Get used to it.
this is going to be our second podcast. We've decided to do this a few days before Chapter 601 comes out. We're probably going to be offering some predictions, and we'd actually like to get some input from the good users of Bleach Wiki, and to know what they'd like to hear out of our future podcasts. And please, for the love of God, do not tell us to review every single episode individually. We are not going to do that, no matter how much you beg.
I might. I'm like, I'll just do it on my own.
We are not
I
not
might.
going to be making individual 30-minute podcasts or whatever length for each individual episode and each chapter. Maybe full arcs.
So in
but
this
not each
episode, Grimjaw looked really weird.
Oh, wonderful. That
Thanks
would
for
take up
reminding
all
me
of our
to-
time. I'd never sleep.
Thanks
Anyway,
for
so
reminding us, but
so
you know the whole.
let's
Let's review this chapter. What is good about it? Blah
So,
blah
yeah,
blah. What
let's-
is bad about it? Grimjo didn't show up. Really? He's not even a main character. Never has been.
let's get the ball rolling. So we finished our review of chapter 600, or our debate, or whatever you want to call it. Now we're going to be going into 601, which is not out yet, of course. Either of you guys have anything to say about what you think is going to happen?
Well, I'm personally thinking that Nemai's Zabak Toe is going to be called Masamune.
That would be fitting. That would certainly be fitting.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure what it would do. I mean, it probably relates to this, like, all Zanpakuto. I was actually thinking, because I'm a jackass, I was thinking that it'd be like a good version of Muramasa, where it manifests a spirit and the spirit controls, like, other like brings out other Zanpakuto to use against his opponents, not against their wielders. Like he bring out, like, I don't know, Ryujin Jaka, fucking Shinso, like dead
wonder
Shinigami.
I don't think he can do that. I don't know, because it seems like once a Shinigami obtains a Zanpakuto, Nemaya isn't going to have it with him.
Well, no, like the dead Shinigami.
No, I mean, that would be interesting, but wasn't it buried with him?
No.
Who?
No.
Who died?
Ryujin Jaka. First of all, you know,
What
was
did
buried.
they do with it? Well, I mean, I'm sorry, he was cremated, wasn't he? That's right.
Yeah, and the sword is at the First Division barracks. I mean, like, he can, like, summon it somehow with his sword, like, to
Oh
give.
my god, how cool would that ability be? I'll just excuse me. All the Zanpakuto.
Exactly. Like, but, like,
Even better. What if he summons a Sogyoku? Isn't that technically a Zanpakuto sort of thing?
well,
Isn't it like 1,000 together or something, or 1,000,000?
no, he has the power of 1,000,000, and then it, like, that increases tenfold when it strikes. It's not a Zanpakuto, it's a halberd, but
Well, it's got the power of Zanpakuto, so it counts.
well, I guess, but, like, that would be hilarious, but I'm pretty sure that we've moved far beyond whatever the Sogoku can do in this story by now into a sheer power level.
Yeah.
But, like, Yuavaku, like, finger flick, it's done.
Finger flick.
You know how it is. But
Don't even start with you.
but yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that Masamune would be a very fitting name for it. I mean, if we're just since he's the master blacksmith and he made all the Zanpakuto ever,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's what I've got. Aside from Gerard being the first to attack him this time, since he's apparently the most close combat oriented and he's the most aggressive of all four Storm Raider that are facing off against him right now. That's all I've got. Son,
Yeah.
soon.
Oh well, I want to divide it into like two, what we expect to happen, but what we want to happen. Like, I
Oh,
want Juju Man to die. Woo! Well, not this
one
soon,
chapter and the Bleach. Okay,
but
Ichigo never reaches the Soul Palace. It's just over. It's like done. I'm done.
I'm kidding. I know. I want them to kick ass. I do. I want to see their Sanbakto. I want to see everyone's Sanbakto. All the
Don't we
royals.
all?
Oh yeah, I would like to see really what Nemaya can do. I definitely, I mean, we've seen pretty much what all of them can do, obviously as members of Zero Division, but we really haven't seen a lot of their Zanpakuto except for Kirinji.
And
Yeah.
we've only ever
I
seen
mean,
Koichi
we've seen this
fights.
and it didn't we didn't even get much out of that the Kinpika thing.
Yeah, I mean,
We didn't get much.
I have my own theory on what it can do, but that it's really only based on like circumstantial evidence.
But I mean,
Yeah, why
I'm
did
definitely
it do
definitely
it?
curious, like,
Hold on.
because first of all, it's something called it translates to gilded splendor from what we have. I'm trying to figure out first of all, there's got to be some way it relates to his hot spring power. I would hope.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that that when it's released, he can perform like really powerful slashes with presumably light, because in 597 when Juju Man and his band of ragtag misfits pass by him, you can see this like
That
massive.
sounds like a band. That sounds
You
like
can
a that sounds
you
like a
can
rap
say-
group.
You can see this massive curved like slash in the ground, which I'm presuming is from his first attack when he attacked him way back in 588.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
So that's what I'm thinking that it does. Although I'm not sure if the blade like glows constantly when it's released, or if it just like goes upon release and stops. Because
Who's
that would mean that
flying
like
while talking?
he resealed it after that, because it looked normal in 597. So I'm not quite sure what's up with that. I mean, and as for like fighting, we've only ever seen him fight, and I'm thinking that Ichibei would be the next best combatant, because I'm guessing he's Hakuda oriented.
I'm hoping he is. Yeah.
Like I imagine he's gonna take off his cloak and be like massively muscular, in like a Kingsman sort of way.
Well, I'm assuming he obviously has a lot of talent in Keto since he kind of hid the palace, didn't he?
Well, Sal's thinking as an extension of this naming ability. Like he can like draw words or kanji, and then like that ability takes effect instead of it just being a keto thing.
Oh, like Arcana, like who's that? Justine or
So basically like the power of Okami.
Who?
But at video game.
Yeah, let's see. That it also brings me to what I'm kind of curious as to what Hikifune's Zanpakuto could do. I mean, she's got all this food idea of her. She's now got the cage of life, but like it also makes you wonder, because you got to think at the very least,
Water type.
but I'm not sure about the other members. But at the very least, Hikifune was promoted.
So she must have been a captain.
She
was.
She
Well,
was
she was,
a
yeah,
captain.
she
I mean,
was 12.
the only one
yeah.
the only one I really can't be sure about if he was a captain beforehand or not would be Nemaya, since he kind of created Zanpakuto.
Yeah. So like it kind of
we're not. So he might have just kind of been an original member, and same with Ichibei. I don't know, because he's kind of the de facto leader.
Yeah, and Ichibei had his power given to him, and I'm not sure if that's what got him into the Royal Guard, but he has power given to him by the Soul King. So which I think would mean we don't know why he got in the Royal Guard in the first place.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder, like, Hikifune was later on, like only about 100-something years before the current story, promoted into the Royal Guard for, I believe it was I'm not sure if she created mod souls. Did she create mod
She
souls?
she created the technology for Geekon and
But did
Konpatu
she create it before going into Royal Guard?
before.
Yeah, and she was
Yeah.
recognized for that, and that's why she got promoted. But it makes me wonder. I mean, so she has all this. She has this food theme about her, and it makes you wonder what her Zanpakuto can do.
She has the theme of Sun's grandma about her.
Yep.
Sorry.
But I don't know. Maybe you can eat people.
I'm
Maybe
thinking
her Zanpakuto can swallow people.
I'm thinking water type
Oh,
actually.
Lotto has met her match strongly. We can see who's winning that match if they decide to eat each other.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it could totally like
I'm thinking water type actually. Yeah, because we only ever seen one in a flashback, and I don't know. It'd be interesting to see like a full-on water type in the story that uses water in some way other than physical attacks. And because that would tie into like her plant thing, since
Well, we
water
haven't really seen much wind type, considering, we haven't seen like, because water type, we've had Haribel, we've had Nejibana. Isn't that water type?
No,
Nijibana, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, no wait.
And Pinzaguda, I'll give you that.
Sorry, hold on. For a second, I got Nejibana confused with Nijigasumi.
Well, one's canon, one isn't.
Yeah, Nijigasumi was light, and it was.
Oh yeah.
And it was that really, really annoying Maki Ichinose guy in the Zanpakuto. Oh god, he was annoying. But anyway.
Ichinose. Yeah, I mean, like light type is what I'm thinking. Kinpika is, based on the name and what happens when you release it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's some kind of light, but
Ultimate light type.
of course, it's some kind of light. We get that, but what does it have to do with what is it with? What would it have to do with the hot springs? Is the question.
Well, does it have to do with the hot springs? Because Zanpakuto abilities are based on their owner's personality, not on what they've done. Am I
right?
mistaken?
But you got to think that maybe the reason they were promoted into the Royal Guard is similar, and maybe what they oversee in the Royal Guard also has to do with that.
Well, sometimes I wonder, has there always been 5? Was there one before Hikifune, or are they just promoted gradually?
I think it's promoted, because
I don't.
I doubt that one
there's
of
no
them
record
died to open up a spot for Hikifune.
And I certainly don't think they're firing people from the Royal Guard.
No, well, I'm assuming people in the Royal Guard,
It's like the Supreme Court, all right? You're there for life.
You'll be there for life, okay.
I mean, unless if you pull an Eisen.
Well, the thing is that, obviously the Soul King is building a palace of some sort for each of them. So, did he build it and go, come on up?
I mean, he's the Soul King. He can probably create it with, just the way with moving his eyes a little bit.
Yeah, I'd still like to see a bit more of the Soul King.
The omnipotent God man lifts his eyebrow and suddenly a palace is created. That was easy.
Let there be palaces.
Well, hey, why not? Why not?
God man, to the rescue.
Well, at least it's not let there be light.
God man versus Juju man.
Juju man.
I mean, he kind of wants to kill the Soul King. Kind of.
Yeah, because it's like, this is a gravestone. Blur.
Oh yeah, he said that, didn't he?
But anyway, so yeah, we've since the last podcast, we've also gotten some more information on this chapter that came out.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because we've gotten the Raw, which is great.
Oh yes.
And your favorite. It's like birthday every week for you whenever that happens.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, because I'm now subscribed to Shonen Jump Alpha, I get the Viz chapter, which I got earlier today. So yeah, that's always fun.
First off, Senjumaru is female.
Yes, we can confirm. We can confirm from Viz's translation, Senjumaru is female. All that crap that whatever Manga Panda had about saying he was just wrong. So let's just close the book on that one.
I put the
it's
words
just
that
wrong.
Viz used, she and the gender together, and it came out as the complete opposite of what I wanted to say. I'm proud.
Yep, and then like, I had originally thought, when I saw before Chapter 600 came out, I thought it was gonna be, have a lot more to it, like it was gonna be a lot more hype. And when I saw 600, I mean, I wasn't disappointed. It was a great chapter, but it seems like it wasn't quite the hype of an anniversary chapter or of a 100th chapter. And then, now that I'm looking at the Raw, we get this whole thing, because last, like, 3 pages of the Raw, we have Nemaya saying "yo" in English.
Oh.
Yeah,
We
with
get,
upside down exclamation marks, no less.
oh yeah, those were originally there, and then in the next moment he's saying in katakana, "I am the #1 Zanpakuto creator."
Complete katakana, folks. Like,
As
Just
opposed
like,
to I'm the number
like,
2 one.
and best part, it's just I am #1. Not there's no
it,
the, just I am a #1 Zanpakuto Korea.
yeah, Kuriera or something like that. It's really funny that Nimaya makes the best freaking entrance ever. And then of course he starts counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, or in Japanese, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, uh, you know, 4, 3, and then he just says his name, Nimaya Oetsu, because, like I said, his name has a 2 in it. We get that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Manga should
Oh,
actually explain the joke more clearly.
yeah,
It's
oh,
too bad.
and,
It's too bad
and
to
of
make it to
course,
the Viz.
and of course, in the Raw, when he says Oetsu, it says it in English.
Oh.
In
With
English,
OH ETSU.
it says like,
It's
he's like,
it's a thing of beauty.
Oetsu! And it's like, Nimaya's way of speech is always funny in comparison.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
basically all this kind of like slight mix of English. It's kind of funny.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
it always amuses me to think about like how whenever I guess we go like whenever a wrong car says what the name of their technique like Lagota or whatever, and there's always kanji under it. You have to wonder
Mhm.
how like they're saying kanji and the word at the same time.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like the kanji is there for an official, like, about what the name is, and then the katakana is there because, oh, we're changing up the pronunciation a bit. Which in Japanese, I guess that's legal because, that's
Yeah.
what furigana is.
I mean, you can't really do that with like any other language.
Yeah, it works in Japanese because they essentially have 3 alphabets.
Yeah, and alternate readings and stuff. Which
They
they,
have
they,
they
they
have
have fun. They have
they
fun
have
with
they
that
have
all the time.
alternate readings. They have 2 alphabets plus characters of because kanji is
And
like
why is this
originally
not the
taken.
hardest language to learn?
Well, I think the 2 actual hardest languages are Mandarin and English by definition.
Yeah, but I would have thought if you have 3 alphabets
Well,
compared
actually,
to
that's the
1.
that's the thing. Japanese has like two of Japanese's alphabets are like completely based on pronunciation. That's what the kana are.
Oh, like Romanji?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean that the kana are entirely syllables and pronunciation, and then the kanji is pulled from Chinese.
Oh, yes, yeah,
So,
because
so what they
Japanese is
essentially do is
yeah.
they take what many people would find as a very confusing Chinese, and they start to add a little more pronunciation to
That
it. They take the difficult Chinese variants and make it a little easier.
that reminds me actually. Just the other day I figured out or learned why early chapters of Bleach have such strange like mistranslations of names. Like when Zangetsu was Kitsuki, Benihime
Yeah,
was Kurenai-hime. Turns out
because
they're using the Chinese Raws, which had no furigana.
but did the original Raws of the older chapters have furigana or no?
They did, but they weren't using the Japanese Raws. They're using Chinese Raws that don't have furigana, so they just
Right.
had to
Okay.
assume names for them. Which
Right.
is
So
why
and they were just
the,
using the kanji, which with Japanese also doesn't work as well because Japanese does have some things that are written solely in kana. I
Mm.
yeah,
mean, I mean,
I mean,
Japanese adds particles that are just in kana.
yeah,
So
but
it really using the Chinese raws isn't really accurate for getting. It really isn't right to call it an accurate raw.
yeah, I remember clearly when
The
you got
accurate
that.
raw would be what Kubo wrote, which would be in Japanese. It would have the kana. I mean, I'm looking at just the raw page of the last page of 600 in the raw right now, and there's some words that are completely not in kanji. They're just in kana.
I remember when you got that raw page for 594 that you thought was for Pepe, and it was the Chinese raw, and
Yeah, because it had his name in kanji, which didn't make sense.
Waka Barada.
I mean, yeah, it had his name in kanji, which made no sense given that none of the Sternritter's names in the Japanese are in kanji.
Well, Kangdu. But that's because it's
Oh, well,
Chinese.
Kong is supposed to be Chinese, but aside from Kong, which has like a Chinese theme about him, all the other Sternritter don't have any kind of kanji in their name. I mean, they're all in katakana,
Yep.
and same with the Arankar. Same with any other character that doesn't have a Japanese theme about them. The Arankar, the Hollows, the actually I'm not sure about the Hollows. I'm not sure about standard Hollows. I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
standard hollows have Spanish sort of thing around them.
Or English words like Grand Fisher, Bulbous G.
Oh, yeah, those ones, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Fishbone D.
oh yeah, I mean, like Shrieker's name is completely katakana. It's Shrika.
Yeah.
And none of the hollows have
Yeah,
Japanese
they don't have
names.
kanji in their names. Um, so yeah, when I saw Pepe's name in kanji, it didn't make any sense. And then we later find out that it's the Chinese one. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes
That's
a
why it
lot
was
more
all.
sense.
That's why it was all kanji with no subjunctive particles or anything, which was
And,
really
and that
confusing.
would also explain the older chapters of Bleach, the really older chapters.
Yep. Back when Kenpachi was Saraki Ginbachi.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh well, okay, it's not as bad as what Amazon does.
Oh, God.
Amazon, I went and looked up the ISBN of some old Bleach volumes in Japanese, like the original Japanese copy of Volume 1.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
And gotta find it. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Oh, it's somewhere here. Aha. Okay. So if you go back and find the ISBN of the original Japanese volume, uh, Amazon credits the author
Oh
as Obihito Kubo,
Mm-hmm.
and
Dun dun
the
dun.
and I'm like, the problem is that is the that is half right. If you take the kanji that he uses, I mean, his real name is Noriaki. His real name is Noriaki Kubo, but his pen name Taito uses kanji.
Yep.
And Amazon decided to take instead an alternate reading, and with the same kanji, but decided to come up with the reading Obihito. It is a way that the kanji in his pen name can be read, but it's not how he does it.
Yep.
And this was something I found like 3 months ago. No, like
Well,
four, like 5 months ago. Yeah, it's like that's the problem with these people that they don't. You got to be looking for the right raws. You got to be looking for the right original text
Yeah.
because all the Japanese raws use the kana, which makes it easy for pronunciation.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Anywho.
on the actual finding the right raws and the wrong raws, that just reminds me of back in the day whenever we had relationships on the in the
Oh,
profiles.
I
Oh,
remember seeing
back
the
when there were
aftermath.
relationships. Oh boy.
I remember
Yeah,
seeing the
I
aftermath.
remember like this year was long before you guys got really active, and you used to get a lot of people that, splash together different like, appearances for the characters and stuff. Like, look, Rukia loves Ichigo. She kissed him in this chapter, and it's like, no, she didn't. That's fake. And it's like, no, 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 it's true, it's true, it's true. It's like, ah.
My
So
dad
there
works
was a
at
lot of that.
Kubo.
My dad. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. Do you remember
Guys,
that?
guys, guys, guys! I know a guy who works at Bleach.
Works at Bleach. Is it
Bleach
someone?
headquarters.
No, no,
Run by
I'm sorry.
parents.
I'm sorry. He actually works at. He actually works with Bounty. Because They make other cleaning products.
I know a guy who actually is Kubo, has identity stolen, and he tells me that Grimjow is alive and is actually Okiora the whole time.
My God, it all makes sense.
Oh, makes sense. I
And
mean,
by
come
that
on.
I mean it
Well, Grim
doesn't
Job is
at
how we read
all.
this thing.
And by that I mean it doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so this has been kind of a very weird podcast so far, hasn't it?
Well,
We-
the
we've-
reason I wanted to do it is basically, a twofold, to kind of start the whole idea of the preview, so that we had something there, something that we could engage with, as well. Like you said there, the raws were brought out, so it's something that you could also discuss, as soon as because obviously it's something new to discuss for yourselves, it's
Oh yeah,
something that
the raw, the Viz manga. When new stuff comes out, I mean,
Mhm.
you find the original, you find like the scan translations that Manga Panda and Manga Stream do, and you're like, and you're left confused, and then you get the raw, and then when you're me, you get Viz translations, or
Yeah.
when you have the subscription, because it was $26 for a year. I'm not gonna complain about that.
Yeah, for a year, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Comes out
Yeah.
to about €3.
Yeah, it's the issues, it's for 48 issues is $25.99, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is,
And or before I even got that, I was occasionally buying single volumes which were 99 cents an issue, so the subscription ends up at about 50 cents an issue.
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, that ended up
like
that ended up
25p?
working. So you
I
end
remember
up.
when I used to get the physical copy of Jump in my
Oh,
mailbox every
that
month
was
or
back
so.
that was back when they were way behind. I mean,
Yeah.
now because they're doing the online thing, they're matching it with Japan with maybe a week difference, which is great.
I just do remember seeing Ichigo on the cover of some of them. I was like, it looks boring.
Oh,
I
recently
don't feel like reading Bleach.
went.
I would just skip over the Bleach chapters. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, especially if it's if you're not really sure what's going on.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because it started like in the middle of. I know when I read the Naruto chapters and I got to I started reading like the middle of his first final fight with Sasuke.
His
And I
first
had no idea.
Oh, at my
Yeah.
house I have like piles of old
I just-
monthly Shonen
I was
Jump
like,
issues.
I was like, how did it come to this?
But yeah, I mean that was back then. They were doing it monthly. They were doing physical monthly issues, and
Yeah.
they were also a lot bigger because the monthly issues were also doing some other added stuff that was like I remember a monthly issue previewing Claymore.
Oh yeah.
I remember a monthly issue previewing this thing called Nora: The Last Chronicle of Devildom. That was cool. I want to go back and read more of that. I just gotta find a site that has scans.
Manga Panda.
Panda doesn't seem to have it. I think like one of the smaller sites like Manga Hero or Park does.
Actually, on the scans, I have a confession to make. I have been reading Skip Beat for my sins. I don't know why. I keep reading it for a few chapters and then going,
what is?
why am I reading this?
I don't know. I mean, Zill and I both read the worst manga ever. I mean,
What?
no, okay, I was joking. I was talking about Black Joke.
Oh,
Actually,
I
Black Joke.
thought thinking about Mob Psycho. I'm like, I don't read that. I
Wait,
got secret about the
what?
first chapter.
About
Mob
what?
Psycho. Mob Psycho.
Oh, was that
100.
weird one I found once?
Yeah, I read like one chapter. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I read like the chapter to that. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here, but it's funny.
Like it was like
It was
trying
like
to
it
be
was called
funny.
Mob Psycho 100. But anyway, while we're here, I'm going to tell the good people listening in to look up a manga called Black Joke.
It's good.
It is graphic, but it is great. Oh right.
Also, Black Lagoon while you're at it. That's also nice.
I just love how the premise of Black Joke works. Let me find it. Let's see. Black Joke. Here we go. The premise. Japan is now the 51st state of the USA. The Isle of Neon, located near Japan, and it's man-made, is the only place where prostitution and gambling are legal. There, Italian mafia, Chinese triad, and Yakuza fight each other to gain control of the casinos and brothels.
It's kind of moved away from that a bit.
I mean
Slowly.
that's the original premise. That's the blurb that Manga Panda has on them. In all honesty, it is a great manga so far. It is. I mean, it is downright amazing. The characters are actually really good, especially Runover.
Runover is the man. So is Kodama.
Runover is this guy. He's a Sicilian mafia. He's like a Sicilian mob boss, and he's bound to a wheelchair because of some accident from years prior.
Hmm.
And his wheelchair is entirely tricked out into all hell. He's a very, very dangerous man,
Extremely.
both with and without his wheelchair, for that matter.
Not to mention how he's like completely muscular despite being paraplegic, or not, or just like paralyzed from the waist down. Like even his legs are still like toned and stuff.
How do you do that? How do you?
Because he's a
of
badass. I mean,
the magic of heroic build. That's it.
and I mean now we're in the now the translations are up to the volume that has him on the cover.
Yep. And
Oh,
it's
God.
going into some fucked up
I still think there's a lot of things I'm waiting for in this manga. The next chapter is probably going to be out in a week or so.
Yep.
It's about a monthly, so it's probably going to come out in a week.
Pretty much all of the series I've ever read with black as the first word in the title have been good.
Black.
Yeah, like Black Butler, Black Lagoon, Black Joke. I think it's
I
probably
found-
similar.
actually,
Zill. You're not going to make me say it, are you?
What?
Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
I don't know what you want.
Black Butler.
Yeah, Black Butler.
Check. All right. Are you gonna make me say it? Are you gonna make me say it? Don't make me say it.
I don't know what you want to say. Hold on. I'll. Oh. I said the first word, Skip. The first word.
Oh, the first word. Okay, never
Not
mind.
just general.
Oh, okay. So you're not gonna make me go there. Fine, I'll say it anyway. For the good people
Black.
listening in, for your own sanity, do not look up Bible Black.
But Darker Than Black is okay.
Okay, Darker Than Black. I guess I haven't watched it or read it.
I watched a bit
Fine.
of it. I didn't like it. It wasn't my thing.
But anyway, so anything else we want to say for
Well,
this?
what I'm saying.
Sorry,
Well,
other stuff.
What do we got here? What else do we have? We got off track and
what
we
I'm
started
saying
talking about
is-
other manga.
Yeah, I know we did. We totally got off
Oh,
track.
we always do this. This
It's
is gonna
okay, it's
happen.
fine.
This is
It's a
gonna happen.
podcast. That's what people find it fun. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
there's more professional views. If you want a professional, completely on topic review of a chapter, there's plenty on YouTube.
Yeah, there's plenty
But
on
this
YouTube.
this is a
but they focus-
podcast. We go off topic. It
Yeah.
happens.
All they'll do is moan about Grimjow. I want a Grimjow this week. I want a Grimjow this week. Oh, that's
Where's Gina no Quiara?
Guys, where's Go Koga?
Where's Son Goku? Why is he not here yet?
No, I said Go Koga. You
I
moron.
know. I know what he said.
Hey, he's still alive, apparently. He's the only one who didn't die.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, where
yeah.
are the Bound? Come on, weren't they canon?
Weren't they
Totally.
I was actually watching the old versions of the episodes, and they were actually called Bound, and I was like, what? Were they supposed to be kinky or something?
I remember
Bound.
someone on the wiki sassing me over what the plural of Bound was. He was like, "No, it's Bounce." I'm like, "What? Since when have we ever done that for like? Why we? So what? Then why are we calling them Arancars and Quincy's, whatever?" Like he's like, "No, it's Bounce. You should know that." I'm like, "Eh."
I mean,
I don't
also,
watch
Japanese doesn't really do much in terms of plural.
Yeah.
Nope.
But I mean,
I mean, unless it's like specifically in the word, like Baransha, like that.
right?
Also-
But I mean, Japanese words, single words, don't really have much of a plural difference. It's the context of the sentence that tells you if you're talking about a plural. So there really is no shinigamis.
Nope.
With
Soul Reapers.
well, yeah, but that's a translation. That's a translation done by Viz.
And
I
Proof
like Soul Reaper. I like the name Soul Reaper.
Yeah. Oh,
But I
think
mean,
once.
I mean, the other things. I mean, all the other languages that are used in Bleach, like Spanish and German, they have plurals. I mean, if you really wanted to, actually, a rancor is a verb. So it means to tear, I believe.
Yep, to tear off.
So a verb isn't really going to have a plural, but if you're using it as a noun, in Spanish it would technically be arrancars. But because we're using a language that really because the manga is written in a language that really doesn't have that.
Also, the
that re-
fact that when the term was first used, I think it was used for like a singular, like I am an Arankar.
And for Quincy, I'm not really sure. I've heard
It's a made up word technically.
Yeah, because
Like,
I've heard
I mean,
the
it has an
Quincy.
English thing like there's like Quincy Hollow, which is where Lemurs lives, apparently. But like there's never been like
Quincy
a
MD.
plural. Yeah, John Quincy Adams. But like there's
But-
never been like a plural of it.
But I mean, I've heard I can't remember what they've used in the dub. I feel like I've heard Quincy's. I can't
Well,
remember. I think they've said the Quincy.
Well, they haven't been like yeah. I remember Mouse going, "What's a Quincy?"
Yeah,
The fuck is a Quincy?
but I can't remember what they were. I can't remember if they did anything for plural.
Well, because like there's very few situations where he would have been talking about plural because there's only two in the anime.
I mean, unless you talked about their past, when like what was it, 200 were like 200 years ago, when all of them were slaughtered.
Yeah. I watched the episode. I think it said the Quincy were wiped out. They didn't use Quincy's.
Like I said, it's because we're all tying back to a language that really doesn't make room for plurals in the nouns. It makes room for plurals in the sentence, in the context of the sentence.
Yep.
So, Arankar is
God help
the
Kulo
plural.
if he starts using French words.
Does anyone know who Brian Regan is?
Nope.
He's an American comedian. He has this whole thing about spelling and about plurals.
Oh,
You know-
I remember that the like the spelling bee.
Yes, the spelling bee.
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Oxen.
What's the plural for ox? Oxen. And then the teacher asks Brian, "What's the plural for box?" Boxen. I bought 2 boxen of donuts. All right, goes to the smart kid. What's the plural for goose? Geese. I saw a flock of geese. And then he says to Brian, "All right, what's the plural for moose?" And you expect him to say meese. But instead, he pauses for a few seconds and shouts, "Moosin!" I saw a flock of moosin.
Very much moosin in the woodsin.
What is the plural for moose?
Moose. No, the plural for moose is moose.
Oh, is it? Okay. Moose.
Yes, the actual plural for moose is moose.
Hold on.
All those
I'm
moose.
pretty sure it's meese.
It's not meese, and it is not moosin. I can guarantee you it is not moosin.
Well, yes, but like moose in the woods. Moosin. I actually introduced that to we introduced it to a friend of ours a while ago, and she just like got hooked onto it. She was just like,
Oh, we're getting bad signal. Hello?
Yeah,
Can you
Zilly,
hear me?
you're kind of like breaking up there.
sorry.
You okay?
No, I've never been okay.
You've never been okay.
Yeah, here, dictionary.com. Noun, plural is moose.
God damn, I've been lied to again.
It's
Is
not,
this American or British?
this is
Scandinavian.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's different. I mean, there's some English words, I guess, that may have slightly different plural
Better
depending
get a box
depending
on
on the
those
origin.
articles that mention the plural of moose. Gosh darn.
I still like moosin. Moosin is totally the correct answer.
Woodson.
The plural for moose is moosin. I saw a flock of moosin.
So son, do you have anything else to go over as to like what you're intending for this podcast thing, or?
Well, obviously, as I said there, we'll go back because I can't remember where I stopped or where I ended there.
Moosin.
We'll just moosin.
Moosin.
We're just talking moosin. So now this week it's going to be moosin as opposed to Juju Man.
Moose man.
The moose Juju Man. The moose and Juju Man. The Juju Man moosin. But basically, right, the idea for this was obviously, to do a preview and stuff, but obviously, you guys came in there and you were talking about the raw and stuff, so actually it can be twofold. We can do that as well.
Yeah, it's we don't have a new chapter to talk about, so we did definitely offer some predictions. And like I said, there's going to be an open comments in whatever blog this goes on, so people can talk about it. That's
Yeah,
always fun.
if I'm not mistaken, son, when you're talking about this yesterday-ish,
Ish.
ish, one of those yesterdays that I've forgotten about. Um, y- I think you mentioned doing a podcast after the chapter comes out that like went over our opinions on it, but then also talked about other stuff, so it's just not just like,
Yeah,
um,
well, that's what I like to think. Like, should we get like a more formatted future and things?
yeah,
Maybe if we start offering polls to people, where should we
but
start? Because kind of like, we are kind of basically in the last arc at the minute, and do the people want us to, uh, go back to the start and do the arc, or go back to the start and do the first 10 episodes and then do the next 10 episodes, or what kind of
um,
format people want? And we could
oh,
also, sorry, go ahead.
we could go by the anime divided seasons.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just 10 episodes because yeah,
Well, it also does it in volumes, doesn't it? So I suppose you
yeah,
could do like volume
well,
one,
yeah,
volume.
like switch the volumes, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, and we could also like open up some polls and things and see what people want, or you know votes for should we start from the beginning or should we start from the end? Because obviously we're already
Work
kind of halfway through
work
the manga.
backwards. So first, you Avok destroyed the Saratoga, then Aizen got beaten by Ichigo, then Okiora got his ass whooped, then Grimmjow beat up Ichigo, and then Aizen took the Hogyoku from Rukia. And then Rukia somehow took her powers back from Ichigo. The end.
Yeah. Well, well, what I'd also like as well is not just for the wiki, for also YouTube, because there's been a few people that seem to have subscribed to YouTube. Now, they could also be users just from the wiki in general, but there seems to be a few people that are just listening because we have had a couple of views. It's not like, we're not expecting to upload it and have 10,000 views in a week or whatever. But,
A billion.
there seems to be a few little bits of interest here and there, but kind of offer them, the preview could also be a chance to ask people what their predictions are, and I hope no one comes back and goes, I want Grimjoe,
You
but
and your Grimmjow.
I'm
You and your.
sorry, but it's when I was listening to reviews all this week, to kind of get ideas and stuff, and everything was like, oh, we didn't have Grimjow like I wanted. It's like, why is that a review of that chapter? You got the Royal Guard, you got something awesome there. Why is that anything to do with it? Why would Grimjow just go up to the Soul Palace?
Because he
Aizen
can.
couldn't even get there.
Because he
No,
can.
Aizen could. No, he can't. He can't.
Because he's
He
Aizen
Grimjow.
couldn't
can't.
get there.
Well,
He
well,
can't, I
well.
say.
He's as far as we know on the good side. I'm kind of curious. I am curious as to what he's going to do. I mean, Urahara definitely recruited him,
Mm-hmm.
as far as we know. I mean, obviously, officially, we can't say it because we never saw his face. But I mean, we got this guy
We all
that
know what happened.
we all know it's Grimjow. We're not gonna start putting it in our articles just yet, but we know it was Grimjow that showed up in that call with Ichigo.
Yeah, we
But
do.
and Urahara basically has said he has some kind of deal to make sure that he won't betray them.
Yep.
Yeah, because well,
Where I'm
I
wondering what that
Oh.
is. I'm wondering what this deal is. I'm wondering how he's going to play into it. And well, we've seen Ganju, so I'm certainly wondering
oh
uh
yes, those guys.
how how the Fullbring how the dead members of Execution are going to
I
show
mean,
up.
Kubo did say that they were the third force alongside Soul Society and the Wandenreich.
And we see
This
Ganju.
is
He shows up out of nowhere after a while, saying, "Hey guys, let me go with you." But Kugo and Kuchizawa and Tsukishima aren't with him.
Mm-hmm.
yep, and
So
they're training for 3 days.
that's the question. I mean,
Or-
they were training with him, and he shows up, but he doesn't bring them with him. So they're clearly not going to the Soul Palace with him. But
Cool, they could. There's no way they could take on like the goddamn anyone up there.
well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm wondering where they're gonna play into it. Are they gonna? Because there's
Strider.
not really much fighting left down on the ground.
Well, we still have Litoto, who's gonna what's her name? Lotto?
Lil Toto.
Lil Toto
Litoto.
and
Although that Tenses Gensu guy calls it Lilito.
Litoto.
yeah,
Oh.
we've got 3 of the 4 remaining of Bombietta's squad. We've got her, we've got Meninus is still alive, and I think Candace is still around.
Yeah, but we saw her like lying defeated by Byakuya, so
Yeah,
she won't be up for a while.
Candace and
So we
Candace
don't
is
just double tap.
down. Pepe is currently being digested.
Yep.
Well,
After everything.
I mean, he kind of deserved it.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
did.
Lil Toto is just kind of like, I hope you're prepared to answer for your actions, Munch.
Don't you just want to love me?
I mean,
No, no one does.
I'm still wondering what his staff did, but I guess it doesn't really matter now.
I imagine that the deal that Urahara made with Grimjow, presumably, was if you don't attack us, I'll make sure that no one interrupts your resurrection next time. Happened
What was
twice. If you don't attack us, I'll make sure that no one interrupts your resurrection next time. Because it happened twice. Twice, I say.
His resurrection
Oh,
as in coming
yeah.
back to life, or his release?
His
No,
release, it was Okiora and
Okay,
Tosin.
that kind of resurrection. The resurrection.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Tosin and Thing showed up and was like, nope.
And
Nope.
Okoro
Yeah.
was like, nope again. Poor bastard.
But anyway,
Never
he's
gets to play.
he's
See, I actually wonder about that one, right? If he had a released there and then, would he have healed
Yes.
his arm?
Not his arm, I don't think. Well, I don't know, because
They're never very clear on that one, are they?
because someone's ever missing limbs when they go there, so just they have quote unquote superficial wounds, like when the Haribel's faction went into it, they had like their like burns and stuff healed, and when Noitra happened, he had his slash that was healed. He wasn't missing limbs, and then he
Yeah.
screw anyone once he lost then back. I mean, it might be, and then like if you lost arm in that form, it might be gone forever because of how they work, but I'm not sure.
of course that also confuses me as to let's go into anime censorship for a minute. I mean
Oh, boy.
they had they clearly had no Studio Pierrot clearly had no qualms about animating Grimjow losing his arm to Tosin because it was a plot point. It had to come back.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but clearly the Tres Bestias, I mean, apparently it's wrong to have them remove their own arms to create Ion.
Well, maybe because it was unlike Grimjow who had a clean cut, they ripped their arms off. Like there have been like excess bones and
Yeah, I
tendons
guess.
and
Okay,
stuff.
I guess.
Right,
I
well, we
guess.
still had different levels of censorship and stuff. I mean,
I mean, and then other ones disappeared anyway.
yeah.
in
Well, I mean,
regular
they could have
episodes.
done Hiyori and not had it where the guts and all were hanging out, but they just
Oh,
stabbed her.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, but whenever someone just gets stabbed in Bleach and is suddenly dying, it looks stupid.
it's just a flesh wound. Tis
Yeah,
but a
exactly.
scratch.
I mean, look at the scene where Hitsugaya stabs Hiyori by accident. It's kind of just like, yeah.
Momo.
Sorry, did I say Hiyori? I meant to say Hinamori.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
he stabs her
Well,
by accident. It's
Hiyori,
like
she got
their
cut in half
expression.
and then stabbed.
Their
Christ.
expressions are just so
Well, because she
Yeah.
got stabbed like through the chest near her heart, which I can understand why that might be like near fatal, as opposed to just getting stabbed in like the stomach, which
Well,
is where
yeah.
Hiyori was
Well-
stabbed.
Well,
I
she was
mean-
cut in half.
Rankiku got up after Doll.
But yeah. Also the fact that like I think Lemurs theorized that Hiyori was internally bifurcated, so her spinal cord was severed by Gin's sword and
Oh,
was
of course, yeah.
stabbed. I mean, that might explain why it was like, oh god, she needs to be healed. I imagine the only way they could have like censored Grim like there weren't if it weren't a plot point, they would have like made Tosin just kind of nick his arm. You're like, oh no, and then like or he was like, okay, I healed it. You're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've had different types of censorship. I mean, you look at Chad and Chad's injury, his arm
Oh yeah,
ripped off.
yeah. It's supposed to like some little cuts in it. Like how does Yami do it with his fingers? How does he do that with his fingers? He makes cuts in his arm with his fingers. Ow.
Yeah, yeah, that didn't make sense either.
Oh,
Also on the thing, I was actually reading Ging's battle with Ichigo, like the second battle, when he said, "You were so angry when I cut off that guy's arm." Did he actually cut it off in the manga?
Yes. Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
did. There was a lot less censorship. Like, I think the only real censorship they had uh, prior to the Ronker arc was when Aizen stabbed Hinamori, and that was basically in the original version they put a shadow over her back where the sword came out, but in the Adult Swim version it was removed so you can see the sword, and that wasn't censored.
Yeah, that
After
was
that,
that
though,
was the most censorship they had. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
before
mean,
Lockhart,
like
that was what they
they
did.
kept
And
Ichigo
Dambo's arm.
being almost cut in half. So I'd say that's pretty
Wait,
decent.
Jidanbo's arm, what?
That's what I was saying was when Ging was like, "You were so pissed off," and in the
Yeah.
actual battle, he said, "You were
Right,
pissed off," and I cut
that's
off
right.
his
In the
arm.
manga, he completely sliced his arm clean off while he
Whereas
was
in the anime, pen.
while he was holding up the gate, of course.
Yeah. When I watched the episode that had him mentioning that, it flashed back to that in the original arc, and it had the arm, falling off, and him going, ugh. So yeah, it did show
in the
that.
original anime, what happened in the original anime? Didn't he just cut his arm?
I'm
No,
pretty sure
it
he
got
just
cut
severed
off.
his tendons.
No,
I'm pretty sure he just
no. He cut off the arm completely. I'm pretty sure.
in the anime.
Yeah, because they used the footage from those episodes, for the flashback.
Episode
And-
22. Sorry.
Okay, Son is on the job.
Sorry.
It's
I was-
okay. Philip, I'm pretty sure unless, I doubt they would have altered the footage.
Yeah, see, it just says it loses his grip. It doesn't. I'm pretty sure it was his tendons that he cut in the anime.
You know what? I'll check it right now. Before this podcast is over, I'll check it and see what went down.
What went down? I could also go get my DVDs of it,
No,
but
no,
okay, you want to check. You have a purpose in life.
Just this.
Well, I've already got this episode 22 screenshots. Hold on. His arm's there. Look, there's Orihime healing his arm. His arm's still on.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the Jidanbo page that we have.
I know what you're talking about, son. They put it next to him so that she could reattach it.
Well, that doesn't look severed to me. That's just bleeding.
I mean, here I'm on Jidanbo's article right now, and it says, and it actually does say, censorship. When Gin scolds Jidanbo for letting Ichigo go through the gate, he cuts off his entire arm in the manga. In the anime, he only makes a small gash.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, he cut his tendons, and I assumed he cut his tendons.
I am offended.
So I don't know, but
I've had my trust betrayed. Again,
but that's the anime production studio. They're full of faults, we know.
Yeah, well, also there was also the censorship of Kukaku. Kukaku only had just remembering that she only had her arm. She didn't have her arm at all.
Well, she had a prosthetic.
Yeah, she has a prosthetic in the anime, but whereas in the manga she doesn't have anything. It's just arm, offensive, no arm apparently.
Yeah, Narm.
Doesn't Siphon have a prosthetic arm right now?
No. She got it restored by technology.
Orihime probably.
I thought
God.
I thought she got a prosthetic.
No.
By the Research and Development Institute.
Oh God, Yoruichi's male voice.
In English or Japanese?
English.
Yeah, I like Turnstone.
It's just shocking to hear after having heard so much of her female voice. Like, we must retreat for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I like Turnstone. He does both.
You're right.
Her and Fortsuchi. I know I'm wrong. I'm the sun man. This sun, you worship me.
Burning ball of gas and pain.
But yeah, I should probably let Schiffy wrap this up.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's cut through his elbow. God.
No, it's not Jesus Christ, it's Yahweh. Or Juju Man. Juju Man, what are you doing?
To the rescue.
Did Schiffy die? Schiffy?
I'm here.
Oh, we're here. We're still here. We're alive.
Cookie.
Yeah, he hasn't gone to the Soul Society yet.
Don't worry, I'm still here.
Yeah. But
I'm not dead yet.
Anyway, looks like we probably are gonna have to wrap this up so we can, get up onto
an hour and a half long call.
Yep.
I imagine about 50 minutes of that is us talking on this podcast.
That is absolutely nothing. I've had it before where I've sat in with other calls of other wiki people for like 10 hours, and it's like, we're not even
Good
talking half the time.
God.
I
Good God,
know. I
son.
remember actually the longest call I've ever had is 17 hours, and it basically started in the morning of us playing Pokemon, me and my
So
friend.
early in the morning.
Well, at least it wasn't a podcast and a recorded call. That would suck. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
17-hour podcast.
So to the people who are going to be listening to this, yeah,
Eventually.
we're gonna, I guess we're gonna take some input here on what people want to hear, or maybe for future recordings. Whether whether they want maybe a little more order, or
Oh God, son, it's like
Format,
one
yes, for-
phrase of
a
it.
little more of a format, and and maybe if we raise enough con. Wait, con's not real, is it?
Build enough pylons.
Well, I'm using the Soul Society money.
Is the Soul Society money con?
Yeah, it's con.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
not
that
like the
why it
Star
was
Trek
con
one,
during the
like
projects?
Yeah, that's why the projects had the con as a reward.
Not
Back
like
when
it
back
was
when
for the
that.
Star Trek character Khan.
But
I
yeah,
know who Con is.
if we raise enough virtual money, con and bitcoins and all that jazz, maybe we can get some intro music and a background image.
Yeah,
and
if anyone
a
has any
logo.
good suggestions, yeah.
Though yeah, okay, we don't really need to raise money for that, but if people got ideas, we'll totally take them. Anyway,
and,
so
If we need to raise money, we don't need
and
con.
feel free to suggest any other things you want to see this podcast in the future podcasts, like structure or what we want to talk about or how
Yeah,
we
like or
dress.
even like
Yeah, go
fun
ahead.
stuff like trivia and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
Trivia.
well,
I'm all for that. I know like a
and
billion
hopefully
different
we
things.
get some more people in here. We're still trying to get a few people to join this recording because we've got a Skype group running. We're trying to get Kami to actually join in the make time. We're trying to get lemurs in. We're okay, Arankar, I know if you're listening to this, we totally
Come
need
back.
you in this group.
Stop being dead.
Stop hiding. We want you in this group,
Ungrateful
Arankar, and same with you, Future. We want Future Quincy in this group. That will be fun.
Sal, you too, whenever you get back from
Well,
the
Sal's
gym.
in the Skype group. We can always just talk to him there. But
Yeah.
okay, we're playing favorites. We need a Ronkar 109 and Future Quincy in this Skype group.
Um,
And with
Yeah.
that, we